What's up YouTube, Team Inception09 here with a deck profile for you guys. I figured I would do this since I did a couple dual videos for it and I haven't gotten around to uploading it here. So I figured you guys might want to see it. I had a few people asking for it as well, so I mean I figured why the hell not. There's also a few cards in here that I know I need to explain to people because a lot of people either tell me they're terrible or there are better cards and they don't exactly understand any of the reasonings why I actually play some of the cards that I do. On top of the fact that if you haven't even watched the dual videos where I've played this deck, it's done pretty well. So I mean, and outside of those matches that I've actually uploaded, like all the games that I've played with this deck, I haven't really lost that many games. Like I've actually won a good 75% more than I've lost. So I mean, this deck's really good. I don't know how I would scale it for consistency, but it's actually played pretty well for me. I understand the decks play differently for people because different play styles, different metas, even like card choices are obviously going to be different here and there, but whatever. So let's just kind of get into the build and then I'll explain the few cards that need to be explained and then we'll call it a day. So monsters, we have 1 Dark Arm Dragon, 2 Inzektor Gigamantis, 1 Inzektor Hopper, 1 Beachrun, 3 Inzektor Centipedes, 1 Inzektor Dragonfly, 2 Tour Guides, 1 Inzektor Hornet, and 3 Inzektor Ladybugs. Spells, we have 2 TransModifys, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Foolish Burial, 3 Potted Duality, 2 Mystical Space Typhoons, and 2 Inzektor Swords. Traps, we have 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 3 Threatening Roars, 2 Mirror Force, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, 2 Safe Zones, 2 Fiendish Chains, 2 Call the Haunted, and 1 Solemn Warning. Excuse me. Extra deck, we have 1 Gaia Dragon, 1 Tyrus, 1 Volcasaurus, 1 Exostag, 1 Key Beetle, 1 Diamond Direwolf, 1 Maestroke, 1 Lavolval Chain, 1 Gagaga Cowboy, 1 Acigolem, 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Giga Brilliant, 1 Levier, and 2 Zenmaines. And I apologize if you can happen, like I don't know if you can or not, but if you can hear my neighbors outside screaming, I do apologize. So the first thing I feel like I need to explain is Gigamantis, because I know that a lot of people in the past few months have basically downsized Gigamantis to a one of. I'm not entirely sure the reason why. Maybe it causes inconsistency for some players. But I feel like playing 2 is a really good thing in this deck because we're playing Beachrun, which we'll get to here in a few seconds. Like I don't really need to explain Gigamantis all that much, that's why it's going to only take like a few more seconds. Gigamantis, yeah, you can only use its effect to special summon a monster from the graveyard once per turn, but the other effect to equip from the hand to the field, that's something you can do as many times as you want in a turn as long as you happen to have a Gigamantis in your hand. So, in my opinion, playing 2 isn't entirely bad, especially because of the Beachrun. Now, explaining the Beachrun, it's kind of like the whole insect imitation thing. Like, it can be brought out by tributing off one of the level 3s, and you can send a spell or trap card that's face up on your field to the graveyard to select a level 4 or lower insect from your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. This is good because the face-up spells and traps that you have are basically your Inzektors, like the ones that can be equipped or do equip. You can use them to put a face-up spell or trap card on the field. You can also use it on the Excalibur, possibly a dead safe zone, or if you have it on your opponent's monster, you can probably do that as well. You can use it on Fiendish Chain that might be dead. Same thing with Call the Haunted. Doing this allows you to recycle Dragonfly from the graveyard really, really easily, and it sets up some really, really retarded plays, in my opinion. Playing it as more than a one of is probably not recommended, though, just because it's only a 1600, 900, and it's going to be easily ran over, and you can't guarantee that you're always going to have the ability to use his effect. So playing it as a one of is a good thing. Normally, I'm assuming that a lot of other Inzektor builds that don't play the Beachrun play a second Inzektor Hopper, just because that way they have another level 4 they can bring out. Like if they happen to draw into one or whatever, they can bring out the other. It's kind of the same thing here. That's why I play the 1 Hopper and the 1 Beachrun. That way, if I happen to draw my TransModify, I can easily, make sure that I have at least one target in my deck to use. I don't really have to explain anything else for the monsters, really. I would hope that my explanation of Beachrun should be more than enough. So if you have any questions about the Beachrun, feel free to ask. The next major thing, and probably the last major thing that I need to explain in this deck, is TransModify. I get a lot of crap for this. I really do. I probably get more crap for it than I, deserve or whatever. A lot of people get on my ass saying that insect imitation is infinitely better. Infinitely. This could or could not be true. there is a reason why I play TransModify over Insect Imitation, and it's just because it's just that in case reason, okay? A lot of people, I'm not sure how many people are even aware of this, but Insect Imitation reads the attributed monster's level on the field. Excuse me. TransModify does the opposite. Whenever it sends the monster from your field to the graveyard, it reads the monster that you sent in the graveyard. So if, like, okay, let's say, for example, we're going to make some retarded, explosive, derpy as fuck play. And it's basically TransModify, Inzektor Dragonfly, and a Ladybug. That's all you have, okay? If you play the Dragonfly and use the Ladybug and equip to increase the level of Dragonfly or whatever, you can still use TransModify on this and still get the effect of Dragonfly to bring out something. So let's say you summon Dragonfly, use Ladybug, then you go, okay, I'm going to increase this thing's level by 1 or 2, whatever, and you go, okay, I'm going to bring out something, Inzektor, whatever, I don't care. Then after that, you immediately play your TransModify. Okay, you tribute this off. This is currently a level 4 or a level 5 monster with Ladybug, right? In the graveyard, it's still a level 3. So TransModify is going to read that and say, okay, well, we need to bring out a level 4 dark insect type monster. Okay, so you just bring out your Beachrun. You use your new Inzektor to bring back an equip card or whatever if you want to. Whatever, because you now have, you need a face-up card, right? So you send that to the graveyard, bring out Dragonfly again. That's basically what TransModify can help you do in here. And I did that in one of my duel videos, if I remember correctly. It was like turn 2 or 3, I think, that I did it. And because of that, I ended up just shitting a whole bunch of shit on the field. It's retarded. And that's part of the reason why I play TransModify over Insect Imitation, because like if I have no other monster to target with fucking Ladybug, you know, like I can't really just like go, oh, I'm going to use Insect Imitation on something. Like, if you have no other monsters on the field when you summon Dragonfly, you're forced to use Ladybug to increase his level. Insect Imitation, what are you going to bring out? Gigamantis? You're going to really increase Dragonfly by 2 to Gigamantis. The only other option outside of that is by bringing out Centipede, increasing level by 2 to make it a 5, and then overlaying for something like Volcasaurus or Tyrus. I mean, that's basically all you can do, which means that Insect Imitation does nothing on the Dragonfly. Now, yeah, you could tribute this off and bring out something like Hopper or whatever, but, I mean, that kind of play is only really good if you're going to do this, then Hornet, and then bring this out, and then use Hornet again. Like, things like that, that makes, you know, things like that a little better. But in my opinion, playing TransModify makes sure that I have the level 3 to tribute off to bring out a level 4 and not force me to be unable to play it entirely or force me into a rank 5 play instead. But like I said, well, I don't know if I already said that or not in this video or not, but it really does come down to just basically personal preference. TransModify is not worse than Insect Imitation. In my opinion, it's at least as good as Insect Imitation, and a lot of people don't seem to either understand or realize that, or they just feel that TransModify is expensive, so that doesn't justify, like, it justifies playing Insect Imitation because it's cheaper for them, which I guess I can understand, but at the same time, like, TransModify allows you to have that in-case factor. So I mean, that's part of the reason why I play it. I don't know if I need to explain the safe zones. They're there to help keep your Centipede or your Dragonfly alive for an extra turn. And you do play the Key Beetle, so Key Beetle Lock now becomes a possibility in this deck as well. Outside of that, I don't think I really need to explain anything else. I do play the double Zen mains because I tend to make Zen mains, Mace Stroke, and Key Beetle more often than any other monster in this deck, unless I'm going for game with Cowboy, obviously, or, you know, something like that. And Chain's in here basically to help either stack the Dark Armor or get your Hornet into the graveyard ASAP. So yeah. If you guys have any questions about the deck, feel free to leave a comment down below asking me about it, and someone's phone outside is ringing pretty fucking loudly, might I add. But yeah, if you have any questions about the deck, leave a comment down below letting me know, you know, like what you want to know. If you enjoyed the deck or the deck profile or this video or whatever, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Until next time, this is Team Deception 09 signing out.